Hello and welcome to Variety is the Spice of Life. We all know that drinking enough water is important. But did you know that for older adults, dehydration can affect much more than your energy or physical health? It can quietly affect your memory, concentration, mood, and mental clarity, sometimes without making you feel thirsty at all. And that is what makes dehydration particularly dangerous after 60. In this video, we'll explore why seniors are more vulnerable to dehydration, how even mild dehydration can affect the brain, the warning signs you should never ignore, and simple ways to stay properly hydrated every day. And if you want the detailed insights behind this video, visit our blog. The link is available in the description. So, let's begin with something surprisingly important: why older adults may not even realize they are thirsty. Think about the last time you felt really thirsty. For most of us, thirst is our body's natural reminder. It's time to drink some water. But as we grow older, that warning system can become less reliable. The brain's thirst mechanism becomes less sensitive with age. As a result, an older person may already be losing fluids without experiencing a strong feeling of thirst. And this creates a dangerous situation. Senior may think, I'm not thirsty, so I don't need water, while the body is quietly becoming dehydrated. This is one reason dehydration can sneak up on older adults. And there is another factor we need to consider: medications. Many commonly prescribed medicines can increase fluid loss or make the mouth feel dry. So after 60, waiting until you feel thirsty may not always be the best strategy. Aging doesn't just change our appearance, it also changes the way our body manages water. As we grow older, kidney function can become less efficient. Muscle mass generally decreases, and the body's total water reserve becomes smaller. Remember, muscles store a significant amount of water. So when muscle mass decreases with age, the body's ability to maintain its water reserve can also change. Now add medications, hot weather, exercise, illness, or simply forgetting to drink, and dehydration can develop surprisingly quickly. And here's the important part: you don't have to be severely dehydrated before you notice an effect on how you feel or think. Even a relatively small fluid deficit can affect concentration, alertness, and mental performance. Which brings us to the organ that may be affected sooner than you realize: your brain. We often think about hydration in terms of muscles, kidneys, or digestion. But your brain depends heavily on proper hydration too. The brain contains a very high proportion of water, and maintaining the right fluid and electrolyte balance is essential for normal nerve cell function. When you're dehydrated, changes in circulation, electrolyte balance, and cellular function can interfere with the brain's ability to operate efficiently. And you may notice it as something very ordinary. You struggle to concentrate, you forget what you were about to say. You take longer to find the right word, you feel mentally tired, even though you haven't done anything particularly strenuous. These symptoms may be dismissed as, I'm getting older. But sometimes the problem may be much simpler. You may simply need to hydrate. And that brings us to some warning signs that families often overlook. Dehydration doesn't always announce itself dramatically. Sometimes the signs are subtle. You may notice that an older person is becoming more forgetful than usual. They may struggle to concentrate on a book, conversation, or simple task. They may experience headaches, unusual fatigue, dry mouth, or dizziness, especially when standing up. Another useful clue can be urine. Dark yellow urine or urinating much less frequently than usual can be a sign that fluid intake may be inadequate. And when several of these signs appear together, don't simply assume that they're part of normal aging. There is an important distinction to understand, however. Dehydration can sometimes produce relatively sudden changes in mental clarity, while conditions such as dementia typically develop progressively over a much longer period. If confusion or cognitive changes are sudden or significant, don't try to diagnose the cause yourself. Seek medical attention. But if you're simply not drinking enough fluids, improving hydration may be one of the simplest things to address. Now let's look beyond what happens during a single day. What happens if someone repeatedly consumes too little fluid over months or years? Research has explored associations between hydration status, brain structure, and cognitive performance. When the body repeatedly operates with inadequate fluid, the brain and cardiovascular system have to work under less than ideal conditions. Poor hydration can contribute to fatigue, impaired concentration, and reduced cognitive performance. And repeated episodes of dehydration are especially concerning in older adults because their physiological reserve may already be lower. But there's an important message here. This isn't about becoming obsessed with drinking enormous amounts of water. More water is not automatically better. The goal is adequate hydration, consistently maintained throughout the day. And that can be achieved with surprisingly simple habits. So, how can seniors make hydration easier? The first rule is simple: don't wait until you're extremely thirsty. Make drinking fluids part of your routine. Start your morning with water. Keep a bottle or glass where you can easily see it. Have fluids around meal times. And instead of trying to drink a huge amount at once, spread your intake across the day. You can also make hydration more enjoyable. If plain water feels boring, try adding a little lemon or mint, or include suitable soups and other fluids as part of your meals. And remember, your individual fluid needs can vary depending on your body size, activity level, climate, health conditions, and medications. So don't blindly follow a one size fits all target. If you have a medical condition that requires fluid restriction, such as certain heart or kidney conditions, speak with your doctor about the right amount for you. Here's something many people forget: hydration doesn't come only from the glass in your hand. Water rich foods can also contribute to your daily fluid intake. Think of foods such as cucumber, watermelon, strawberries, oranges, and other fresh fruits and vegetables. Soups and broths can also contribute fluids, although their salt content should be considered depending on your health needs. Yogurt and other foods with high water content can contribute as well. This is particularly useful for older adults who don't enjoy drinking large quantities of plain water. And for caregivers, there's another important principle: don't wait for a senior to ask for a drink. Offer fluids regularly, keep drinks within easy reach, and if appropriate, keep a simple record of how much is being consumed. Sometimes a small reminder can prevent a much bigger problem. Perhaps the biggest lesson from all of this is that hydration shouldn't be something we think about only during summer or when someone becomes ill. It should be part of everyday healthy aging. Keep water visible, create regular drinking routines, include water-rich foods, pay attention to changes in urine output, dry mouth, fatigue, or dizziness. And most importantly, don't assume that every change in memory or concentration is simply because I'm getting older. Sometimes the body is giving us a much simpler message: it needs fluids. And while good hydration cannot prevent dementia or solve every memory problem, maintaining adequate fluid intake is an important part of supporting overall health and well being. Because protecting your brain isn't always about complicated solutions. Sometimes it begins with something as simple as a glass of water. And that brings us to the end of today's conversation. Hydration may sound like one of the simplest aspects of healthy living, but as we grow older, it deserves much more attention. Don't wait for intense thirst. Make hydration a part of your daily routine. Pay attention to the warning signs and encourage the seniors in your family to do the same. And remember, healthy aging is built through small, consistent choices made every single day. If you found this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe to Variety is the Spice of Life. And if you enjoy the practical health, fitness, and wellness content in our health and fitness zone, there's plenty more coming your way. For the detailed information and additional hydration tips discussed in this video, visit our blog. The link is available in the description. Until we meet again, take care of yourself, stay active, stay curious, and most importantly, stay well hydrated. Because sometimes one of the simplest ways to take care of your future self is to remember to drink water today.